Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of my wonderful and beautiful little subscribers out there. And how I love you all, so, and I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful, and super duper delicious. And that life is treating you most deliciously wherever you are in the world. Right, so what's the time, Mr. Wall? So it's 3 minutes past 5 p.m. in our old England, my delicious little babies. And, the sun has got his hat on, hip 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 hooray. Right, and I hope that wherever you are in the world, that life is treating you most deliciously. Right, well, surprisingly enough, my delicious little babies. So we've gone through all of the what I regard as the sharp weather. And now it feels today like it's well, not far off a summer's day, my delicious little babies. So what the hell they're playing at, I do not know. Anyway, let's try and switch my lights on, my delicious little babies. Oh, we haven't got it. Yeah, they're on. My delicious babies, they're on. Okay, so yeah, and I hope that you're all well, my little beautifuls. Okay, well, anyway, it's just a quick video that I'm going to bang out because, I did say to her, because I clean our bins out, see, so I said to one of my beautiful dear little neighbours up the road, I said, does your little recycling bin need cleaning out? She said, oh, it's all right, I'll do it, my beautiful dear little neighbour and friend. I said, no, I said, I'll bring it down. So I brought it down the other day, so I'm going to give it a good clean because it'll dry quick in this sunshine, Martin space. Anyway, things like this, it doesn't bother me, you know what I mean? I offered anyway, she never said anything to me, but I just offered. Doesn't bother myself at all, my delicious babies. You clean one bin, you clean them all, don't you, my delicious babies, anyway? So, right, first of all, first things first, my delicious babies. So, not so long ago now, probably about 15, 20 minutes ago, I just took my beautiful, delicious Ruby Tuesday for a walk because my beautiful, delicious little amazing me, she's out at the moment. She can walk herself. Sometimes she walks with us, but I don't know where she is. She's probably resting somewhere, sprawled out in the sun. Because little pussycats love to do that, don't they, my little babies? I just seen another one as I was walking around, that one was just all sprawling out in the sun, you know what I mean? Anyway, my little babies, it's getting a little bit windier now. And there's something going on over at the lakes, okay, because certain part of it is all cordoned off, like from this side of the park to the other side. So I thought, well, I'll go up and I'll ask, what's going on? And they said, nothing to worry about. And I said, well, I said, if it's, if it's cordoned off, there and over there, I said, looking for something. Do you know what I mean? My delicious little babies anyway. But said, it's nothing to worry about. Okay, my delicious little babies now then. So you never know. Because I'm so flipping nosy. Nosy Rosie. You know what I mean? My delicious babies. It's all right, I've only said that because it just rhymes, doesn't it? Nosy Rosie. I may very well find out what it is. Okay, my delicious little babies, you never know. Now then, I've only got one video today, my delicious little babies. And well, this one here, this never came up on my feed. So this uploader happens to have 233,000 subscribers, my delicious little babies. And this one is called, I'll spell it for you. It's a capital S, but the rest of it is little writing. So it's SLESLOR, Sleslor. So I'll just spell it out for you again. SLESLOR. Okay, my delicious babes. This video is 46 minutes and something long, my delicious baby. So I'm nearly halfway through it at the moment, okay? Now, the reason why it caught my attention, I'll read the title, how it should read, my delicious baby. Sorry, on YouTube. Now then, it should read, Chef for an elite underground family. They know what's coming. Creepy worker experiences. Okay, my delicious babies, so I'm just going to repeat this again for you, shall I? Chef for an elite underground family. They know what's coming. Creepy worker experiences. Okay, my delicious babies, so I just need to close my book. Now, what's this about, my delicious babies? So we need to go backwards, remember. Please and thank you, Martin, baby. So anyway, I shall be watching the rest of this video, Martin, babies, and because I'm really intrigued now to see what the ending is, Martin, babies. But I wanted to just bang out the video to you now, Martin, babies. Anyway, so what's this about in brief? So this one chef. Apparently, it's happened with others. They've been offered ka-ching, ching, 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 ching. Super duper ka-ching. To be a chef. For let's just say the extremely wealthy Mardelistic babies. Anyway, and this one here, he works on an agency. So of course, everybody knows that working on an agency, you don't get a lot of ka-ching, ching, ching. You know what I mean, Mardelistic babies. Anyway. So he's asked to go out and he's offered this. Well, it is. It's a pretty penny, Mardelistic babies. I mean, that's a huge amount. You know what I mean, Mardelistic babies. Anyway, for anybody it is, to buy you a home. You know what I mean, Mardelistic babies. Anyway, fast forward. So what happened was he drove out to this place. I think it's in America somewhere. Okay, Mardelistic babies, and who's talking? I think he's English. You can't tell these days, can you, Mardelistic babies? You find it harder and harder, to work out, where anybody's from. I do not mean that. I'm not being sarcastic or nasty, Mardelistic babies, but I don't know. And I even think with some, maybe they lose their accents, or maybe if they go travelling around, maybe they pick up an accent from somewhere else, Mardelistic babies, that's what I mean. But anyway, I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so he goes out to this place and, there's nothing there basically. And then it appears that this is like this underground bunker. Yeah, we've heard all about the underground bunkers. I was listening to a lot of that on our lovely BitChute. At the moment, I cannot see Mardelistic babies, much to my severe disappointment. Anyway, Mardelistic babies. Anyway, so and then these ones answer this. It's like it just looks like there's nothing there. So I should assume there's bits of dirt and things like this now. Then. Okay, Mardelistic babies. And anyway, so what happens next? So they let your man in, this chef, and he's asked to, make sure that nobody follows him, when he comes to come and do his job. They ask him to, to make sure all the food's clean, the food, and to make sure that he's, that himself is disinfected and everything. And then the part that I've just got to, my delicious little babies, right, okay, so I never needed to stumble because this is the part that I'm at the moment, okay, is where this out the couple, because apparently they've got a couple of little bairns. Anyway, it's interesting, some of the comments, my delicious babies, yes. Anyway, this man is totally drunk. Now, the couple who live in this bunker, because apparently they're not very old, it seems, he gets totally drunk because what his job is what is it, trading resources or something. So it could be anything, Mardelistic babies, that's what he does anyway. So he gets totally drunk, then he starts explaining to this poor chef now then, okay? who I do believe, I think it's about a month that he's been working, at this underground bunker, Martin babies, that he never wanted to marry his wife, that it's because of the bloodlines why they got married. Okay, Martin babies, and that's the part where I'm up to. Okay, Martin babies. It's so strange actually, because well, put it this way, my delicious little babies. What was he getting drunk on? Jack Daniels. Yeah, I have seen lately, Jack Daniels, like flattened cans. My delicious little babies, okay? Because I do know that some years ago they started to do that. They did like, they never used to. You used to have to go and buy a massive bottle. Okay, my delicious little babies, but well, I suppose you can have smaller ones, but then they started making it into like a fizzy drink, if you know what I mean. Mad little babies can. So yeah, it's just really strange. There we are. It was just really strange when I was listening to it. Mad little babies can. Anyway, so that's the part where I'm up to at the moment. Now, what do I have to say? My delicious little babies, okay. So on one hand, so he never wanted to marry. So you're starting to see, there we are, a picture forming, aren't you, my delicious babies? That's how it seems to myself, anyway. Listening to what I've just been listening to. I mean, it was only when was it? Yesterday evening that I was talking about. Was it, that one's, at one time you never even, decades ago, you never even got to see who you were going to marry, Mardelishtuk babies, in certain religions and so forth. Do you understand what I mean? Mardelishtuk babies, okay? So, well, obviously, it's the same with this, which, of course, to be fair, we've known this, haven't we, Mardelishtuk babies, because it's like they cannot mix with, let's just say, the outside world. They have to be within that world. Mardelishtuk babies, do you see what I mean? I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, Mardelishtuk babies, whether you were an elite or whether you were just like ourselves, normal, whatever, definition of the word that is, what one's regarded as normal, because, it is rather flipping bonkers, crackers and crazy out there, isn't it, Mardelishtuk babies in the world anyway? But even if you're not an elite, if for any reason you're in an unhappy marriage, well, you're in an unhappy marriage, end of, aren't you, really? It doesn't matter how you try and dress it up in pink and red little pretty little birds now then. Do you understand what I mean, Martelishtuk babies? If you're having a sharp time, there we are, you're having a flipping sharp time, aren't you? Except for the only difference is this is one with a lot of ka-ching, ching, ching, ching. I mean, especially if you can pay a chef, 200 grand a year? I mean, come on. I mean, you'd have to be a good chef for that, wouldn't you, my delicious little babies? Mind you, we have heard many, let's just say, realities over the years, haven't we, my delicious little babies, where, very sadly, it's not just your... let's just say meat, what most of us would know of, bless beautiful little animals, we're not talking about that meat, my delicious babies, no. Do you see what I mean, okay? But apparently this couple, they were rather, in this underground bunker, they were rather paranoid. Okay, my delicious babies, but flip me. Imagine being in an underground bunker and you're not even happy with your Mr. or Mrs. Mr. or Mrs. Be nice to each other. So it's no different, is it? So obviously, they experience what we do, except for... it's quite obvious to myself that they're on a much, which I've known a long time for years, but they're on a much stricter, of who they marry and all of this kind of thing now. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? But It's interesting to listen to. But what is it that I've got to say, Mardlish babies? Now, you know for myself, for a start off, if an agency had have sent myself, right, I wouldn't trust it. So that's just my view, my delicious little babies. Now, apparently, and that's also what I was hearing, um, apparently the agency knew nothing about this. How can they not know nothing about anything? It doesn't make any sense, does it, my delicious little babies? How can an agency not know? I mean, wouldn't they question? I mean, I would have thought, my delicious little babies, that they would have surely questioned. I mean, say if somebody's just getting paid, I don't know, just as a figure, 15 or 16, ching, 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 ka-ching, you know what I mean, Mards, babies, then all of a sudden, someone wants to pay 200 grand. Well, come on. It doesn't make sense, does it, Mards, babies? No. So, I wouldn't have done that job role, no. Not for all the tea in China. China, not for all the tea in China. I mean, we only have to go back decades ago, don't we, man, to the babies to see the likes of North Korea. Let's just say, not just eating meat, shall we say, mad delicious babies. Do you see what I mean? Okay. And of course, these things go on, but I haven't heard the rest of it yet. So I do not know, if that is what your man there, not in that way with anyone, what he's going to say, because I've only got up to that part. Okay, my delicious baby. So I'm just being honest, I haven't listened to the rest of it, okay, and I'm going to listen to it now. Okay, my delicious baby. So I'll just listen back to my video because that's what I have to do. Do you know what I mean? And then, just to make sure that it's suitable, and then it goes out. Okay, my delicious babies. So wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, please have a super duper delicious time. You only get one life, my little honey bunnies. Sending peace, love, harmony, and bright blessings to each and every one of you. May your beautiful little selves, your beautiful little families, may you all be fully protected. And how I love you, sir. You're wonderful, beautiful, and delicious, and I love you. My flipping light, I forgot to put on again. Mind you, it's very bright in here. Okay, so I hope that you're feeling the love. You continue to feel the love. Okay, my delicious babies, but no. I'll just repeat that again, okay? And I hope that, you're all fully protected, you know what I mean, in this bonkers, crackers and crazy world. But no, I mean, what about if you turned up one day? I mean, you do not know, do you, my delicious babies? I mean, if you was to turn up and maybe you're on the menu, because I haven't heard the rest of it, so I do not know. Because I was hoping that I'd found out, before I did the video to yourselves, what kind of meat these are eating. Do you understand what I mean, my delicious babies? But anyway, because as we all very well know, there's different types, what some see as meat, my delicious babies anyway. But no, anything like that, in my view, there we are, there's a catch. And I mean, if somebody's telling you that they're not happy with the missus and everything like this, well, I mean, they're talking to like what we call the definition of normal, an everyday man or woman. Well, in this case, a man. But who's to say that there couldn't be, let's just say, even if you left a job, that there couldn't be, there we are, sending someone to stalk you or, to follow you, or you don't know. You just do not know, do you, my delicious babies? She said, I'm saying. Yes. I wouldn't have trusted it. So, I mean, it's very clear to myself. I mean, the chef obviously needed a ka-ching, ching, 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 ching. But you know what? No. I wouldn't do that. Not for all the change in the world. No. I wouldn't trust it. Because you don't know what they're going to do to you. Do you understand what I mean, my delicious babies? But I mean, if someone can do that, yes. But would I say it's a brave move? No, I wouldn't actually. I wouldn't say there's anything brave about it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe part of him was a bit inquisitive, to see exactly what the setup was. Do you understand what I mean, my delicious little babies? And maybe he thought, oh, my first month's wage is going to be a lot of ching, 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 you know what I mean? Probably had rent to pay or whatever he had to pay. So maybe that's why he done it, but no, I wouldn't, because because you never know. There we are, when they're going to turn. Do you know what I'm saying? My delicious little babies, okay? It's like, very sadly. I mean, we shouldn't even use this, but the a schizophrenic, isn't it? So I'm not saying that about schizophrenics. I'm just saying I'm using this to say that 1 minute somebody could be perfectly all right, then the next minute there could be, you know what I mean, just flipping. Well, let's just say, because I've got to choose my words carefully, because I don't take the mickey out of somebody who's mentally ill, you know what I mean, no matter who it is, okay? And I would never do that. Let's just say their mood could there we are, completely change. It's like, there we are, like a Jekyll and a Hyde. Do you understand what I mean? So 1 minute they're all right, the next minute they're not, basically. Do you understand what I mean? You wouldn't know, would you? So I wouldn't risk anything like that. So, but I certainly wouldn't call him brave. No, he probably just needed a change, probably just wanted to know what was, what the crack was, what the setup was, you know what I mean? But as far as I'm concerned, it's very odd business. I mean, for myself, I certainly would not feel a hunky-dory tickety-boo living, you're going underground. No. I want to be where the sun's shining, you know what I mean? When we flipping get sunshine in England, my delicious babies. But, I like to be where there's daylight, not in the darkness. I don't care how many flipping lights are around. No, it's not the same, is it, than being up here above, is there? Do you know what I mean, my delicious babies? But I'm pretty sure you got thousands. There we are. You've got thousands who are living in these underground bunkers. So many years ago, just before I go mad, delicious babies. That's just what's came into my noddle. There used to be this program called Grand Designs. I'm not too sure if they still air it now. Was it on Channel 4? I'll go back years ago. Anyway, and I'm going to be honest, I used to enjoy, there we are, watching it, anything like that. It's just really fascinating, to watch. Do you understand what I mean? I just like, things like that. And, whether it's how one's decorated, I just find things like that very interesting anyway. Well, I have a selection of different, what I find interesting, I do not just solely just stick to one thing, do you know what I mean? Mad little babies, okay? And they were actually showing on that Martin Babies on one of them, where they did actually build, like it's a house, it looks like a hill. And then, like, you go under, and then it's like, it just looks like a hill and everything. So they were doing that, and you're going back, there we are, years ago, Martin Babies, do you know what I mean? So, I mean, we're not surprised about these underground bunkers. But it is, there we are, it's who's living in them. My delicious little babies, you know what I mean? Of course, which I also heard on the video, to do with the preppers, because you have got preppers all in the world. And some are preparing themselves for something, there we are, major in the world that many are saying is going to come. Okay, my delicious little babies, so they have been preparing themselves. Which I've known, there we are, a long time, which others, there we are, have known a long time. But the fact of the matter is that for somebody to be that paranoid, well, it's telling myself that maybe they've not been so good, have they, my delicious babies, do you know what I mean? Yes. Anyway, anyway, that's all that I want to say. So it's just another short video. Okay, so you just please take care of yourselves now then, because I want to try and get this done, while the sunny, shiny, weather is sweet, yeah. And that's all I have to say for today, my delicious babies. But I'm going to listen to the rest of it now. I just listened back to my video, which anyway, any uploader does that. There we are. Any uploader does that, don't they, my delicious babies? And then once that's done, that's done. But can I please say thank you for any views, for any likes, and for the occasional comments, my delicious babies, okay? Because I am very thankful and grateful, but I also, there we are, know what the crack is, what's going on as well, my delicious babies, with old YouTube, do you know what I mean, my delicious babies anyway. I don't know what was wrong with them yesterday, because I actually had more than one view, my delicious babies. That makes a change, doesn't it, my delicious babies anyway. But thank you anyway to whoever it was who did listen to myself. Me, myself, personally, I like to feel that I do not just talk complete and utter effing shart. You know what I mean, my delicious babies can. But like I said, I could say plenty more. Just, to be quite honest, I just leave it now. There we are, the way I leave it. Okay, my delicious babies, okay? And of course, if I feel like putting out a video tomorrow, then I'll put a video out tomorrow. If I do not put a video out tomorrow, well, I do not put one out. Because for myself, my delicious babies, there are plenty of uploaders where they need the ching, 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 ching. Do you see what I mean, my delicious babies? Okay, so they do it as a full-time role. Okay, my delicious babies, whereas for myself, there we are, it is a hobby. So, I mean, come on. I mean, I could put out 10 videos a day, couldn't I, my delicious babies? But if nobody's watching it, you know what I mean? Well, you always got somebody seeing and hearing, yes, okay? But if nobody's watching them, what's the bloody point? Do you know what I mean, my delicious babies? It's just absolutely no point at all. But what I tend to do is as well, there we are, is put up shorty videos, okay? So if I cannot get my message across one way, there we are, then I'll do it another. Do you see what I mean? For ones who are used to seeing myself do this, there we are, you get where I come from, isn't it? Yes, okay. But for many others, they do not get what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean, my delicious babies? And that's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing. It's all about, I've said it so many times, it's all about what you see and what you hear, isn't it? And that's what they've been doing to us for all these decades. It's been, there we are, out in our birth races, in our faces. And, apart from a small amount, who would know? I mean, of course, it's become larger and larger and larger now, but, apart from, sorry, excuse me, I never need to stumble here, apart from the ones who, the small amount who knew, do you know what I mean, who were trying to, shout from the top of the car park. I don't mean that in the wrong way, Martin, baby, as well. The fact of the matter is that, that's what they were doing, weren't they? You know what I mean? To get the message out. For some of our lovely dear uploaders, not in that way, they've been doing this work for decades, Martin, babies, you know what I mean? So I can understand their frustrations, when they first started and everything, do you know what I mean? Because it's like you just feel like you're not talking to anybody. So I do not mean that against who has watched my videos. I'm not saying that, okay? Because I'm very, very, very thankful. Do you see what I mean, okay? But what I'm saying is at the end of the day, my delicious little babies, the fact of the matter is that, well, it is quite frustrating, isn't it? But it's taken with some uploaders decades, hasn't it? For ones to finally listen, my delicious little babies. Do you understand what I mean? Okay, it's taken flipping decades. And to be proven right, like our lovely, not in that way, our lovely David Icke. Do you see? So, and of course, there are many others, bless them. Many other uploaders, do you say? But it's very clear, isn't it, that we've, had a lot of things now then done to us for a lot of decades, and there we are. And it has been right in our birth races. And now they're doing so many other things now, right in our birth races. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's, it's almost like cat and mouse, isn't it, Marty Stück babies? Do you understand what I'm, there we are. Do you understand what I'm saying, Marty Stück babies? You know what I mean? And probably, in all fairness, we do not know, do we? They're probably peeing themselves laughing at us all. I pretty much, there we are, say that they probably are. But I would also say that they're not smiling so much when they see that there we are, that the circle's getting larger. I wouldn't say their circles, Mardelistic babies, do you see what I mean? Okay. So, it's, let's just say, more and more are opening their eyes and opening their ears, bless them. Do you see what I mean? So it's that part I feel that they're not. Nobody can tell myself, and that's where I'm going to end the video. Nobody can tell myself that all of this is all, and they knew what was going to happen, and they knew that. Do you understand what I mean? Because I personally do not feel. I mean, some could say I'm right, some can say I'm wrong. It's just my view. I'm a woman with a view. I should have my effing view. But I do not, let's just say, believe for 1 minute that all of this is truly going the way that they wanted. No. Okay, my delicious babies. So you just look after now. How I love you so. Thank you once again for listening. Goodbye.